Alright, the next thing we want to do is some pegs. Now, you can get dowel from your hardware store. So if you've got 1/4" dowel, you're going to make 1/4" holes. If the holes are too big, then you may have to get a little larger dowel, trim it down. Sometimes they're going to be a little tapered, etc. I cut my own square stock to start with. A couple of reasons for that. A, it's available, it's old Sash parts, and I just rip them down. I make them a large 1/4", okay, leave them square. Then when I make my pegs, I will simply take it. This is just a piece here it's got a block on top and bottom on each end. It's just so you can put it up against the bench and push on it. Excuse me. And for this, I recommend you have a good sharp chisel. Doesn't have to be a fine woodworking chisel, but at least it should be sharp. Because what you're going to do is just take some of the square edge off of this, not the whole thing, particularly down towards the bottom. And what I want to do is be able to put this peg in there, have it compress some into the hole, and then have these square sides up here bite into the top of that hole a little bit. So I get the compression here and the friction fit there, and I also get a little bite in on the square edges on the top. Do you have to do that? No, that's just the way I've been doing it. The other thing I'm going to do is, for precision, in those holes I noticed they're a little tapered. I'm just going to go ahead and drill it out for a uniform size to 1/4", and that'll give me a good fit. Okay, as I said earlier, I start with by using a woodworking clamp. It's a bar clamp to pull this together. It doesn't matter the type, as long as you pull them together. Don't over tighten it. All you want to do is get it held up firm so that you can get a peg through, a true hole and true peg through there, so you know it's held tight in position. Now, as I said, I'm going to just run a drill through this. It may amount to nothing. It really does. It didn't amount to anything, so it's a good 1/4" hole already. So now I'm going to drive my peg through there. You can see I've got it tapered a little bit, not tapered to a point, just the sides rounded off a bit, and I made sure that I've got the other end so it's not going to blow through the other side on me. All right? Now usually I use a regular hammer for that. How hard do I want it in there? Just hard enough so I'm tapping in. It's not really moving up to a certain point, you know, where it's firm and it's hard. I'm going to leave it there. And you want to make sure it's through on the other side, so I can feel on the other side that I do have a peg sticking out the other side. So at this point, this is called a flush cut saw. What it is, the teeth are set so that they don't have any set to them and scrape the wood. So you can cut it off right flush without damaging the wood at all. Okay? That's the way that works. You see that little square side, I don't know if you can tell or not, but the square sides of that peg have bit into the edge a little bit, and that just helps to hold it in for a secure lock. We're just trying to hold that sash together for another 100 years or so. So I'll go down the other side, do the same. So now we're on the other end. I've already drilled it through just to make sure it's good and clean. I'm going to drive this peg in. Get it good and firm. Flush cut it off with my saw. And if you look at it, it kind of looks like there's now a square peg and a round hole, sort of. Okay? And it looks nice, and it should hold on there a long time. So, just to recap, what have we done? What we've done is that we disassembled our sash initially by removing the 2 pegs on the bottom half. Why the bottom half? Because the bottom half was loose, and clearly that needed to be repegged. Okay? You can see that our pegs are flush through here. See the peg sticking? This is from the other side now. It's a good tight fit. So now I can go ahead and Cut that side of the peg off flush. Now we have a repair that's, you've got a new peg, even though it's old wood, a new peg through that hole. Looks good, it's smooth, it's going to hold up well. Do a good job. Now some of you will see that gap there. Sometimes that's just there from the gap from wood shrinkage and so forth. You can either fill that with epoxy when you finish it up, because we've got some checks to fill in here, or you can put a little strip of wood in there, or you can leave it alone. But the idea is to protect it, keep further moisture out of it. Now most people are restoring the windows have also, see, we have the same thing down at the other end. Got the same little gap. It's a good solid joint now. There's no play in it. The sash is solid, feels solid. Even without the glass in it, it feels good and tight. So you know you've done a pretty good job there. So, once we disassembled it, at least partially, then we went ahead and decided which one of the muntins needed to be replaced. And we decided that 2 of the horizontals needed to be replaced, or should be. And what we also decided, or I decided, if you will, in this case, was that I would repair the glazing bar on the back of this center one and on this longer piece. So I'm going to put a new glazing bar on the back of this and in the center, and we'll have a sash. Actually, there's a repair up here too on this one. Again, the glazing bar. So when we're done with that, we'll have a very serviceable sash. Then we can prime it and get it ready to glaze and so forth. So we went from being pretty rough shape, rickety, sloppy feeling, to its back good and solid. We've replaced 2 muntins, and we'll have a very serviceable